Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and I thought we'd change it up for the monsters that we're working on today, and I show you some of my other original creations that are from my comic series, Fox Among Hounds. So I have a playlist right here featuring some of my characters and creations from the comic, but basically what this is it's a comic series I've been working on. Oh boy, I think it's been 3 years now, and now that I'm full-time with art, I can go like ham on actually producing the pages and making the comic. But while I'm working on the back end of like making pages and actually making the story happen, I want to feature and show you guys some stuff about the world so you can get excited, see what I'm working on, and like kind of get an idea of the world before we get anywhere close to releasing the comic. Because comics take a long time. I don't know if you knew that, but I have been working on chapter 1 for like 3 months now. I was like, oh yeah, I can totally get a whole chapter done in like 2 months. No, I cannot. It takes so long. So yeah, in the meantime, I wanted to do some little like lore and world highlights here on YouTube. I thought they'd be really fun little segments so I can show you some of like the bits of like culture or creatures or different things that are present in the world. So this is our first episode of our creature feature for Fox Among Hounds. So in the world of Fox Among Hounds, there are 6 different nations, and in those nations, there's a lot of like diverse culture and biodiversity and different creatures. And so I'm planning on doing a highlight video from all of these different goodies that are present in the world. So today we're going to start with the nation that Ina hails from, which is the Fox Nation. Ina is one of my 2 main characters that are present in the series, and I thought it'd be great to kind of show off her culture and some of the animals that live within the Fox Nation. So first we're going to make a creature page for one of the animals that's mentioned right off the bat in chapter 1, which is a crested bear. I've had this idea in my head for a while now, and I'm like, I want to put it on paper so I can actually like have a visual image of this creature. But then also it's something for you guys to see as well while we're getting ready to put it in the comic somewhere. So let's go ahead and get some sketches going, and let me tell you more about the crested bear from the Fox Nation. All right, let's get started on our first creature feature. God, I was so excited to do these. These have been on my list of videos to make for a while, and I was just so jazzed to finally get into making these. I love my comic series. I'm so passionate and excited for it. And so like this is a little way for me to like show more of the world and just get excited with you guys. I'm so jazzed. So first off, I experimented with some different headshots for the crested bear. I looked at a few different bird crests, and I ended up picking this, I think it was the 6th design. I felt it was like the right size and shape crest for this bear. And then from there, it was time to like sketch the whole body shape and figure out exactly the colors, the patterns, and the shape of this bear. So I struggled a little bit with the pose at first. I was looking at a couple different references of bears, and I couldn't find one that hit right. And then I noticed, obviously, my reference there on the left. I was like, oh my gosh, what if he's just like sitting and being the most distinguished little gentleman? And so after nailing that pose, I was like, this is perfect. He's very much, if not friend, why friend shaped situation. I don't see these as being super aggressive, but just like most bears, they can be kind of dangerous and territorial, especially during mating season. So I can see that being kind of a problem and a concern with these bears in general, especially because, so the first chapter of my comic, when Ina enters the scene and we get a look at our main character for the first time, she gets startled by her Mount Eden, which is a musk elk, which you guys are going to get later in this video. But she does mention, she's like, oh, don't startle me like that, not during like crested bear season, which is the call out that I said earlier of it being featured here in the first chapter. And so how I see it is kind of their mating season is in like, I think blackberries come about in like springtime, late winter. So I could see these creatures being out and about during early springtime when the berries are prevalent and numerous. I could see them being kind of like a hibernative bear that comes out once the fruit is ready, and then they gorge themselves and then find their mate for the year. So I could see it being kind of a concern to be out there picking blackberries, which is what Ina's doing in the beginning of chapter 1. Basically being out there picking the food and the preferred like snack of these bears. That would be a little bit of a concern to be out and about during their peak season. So that's a little bit of insight of where these will be coming in, like at least in the initial version of Fox Among Hounds, at least what we have right now. I'm hoping to feature them a little bit more, both with like scenes of the forests amongst the Fox Nation, and then I feel like they could be featured in different, I guess not ceremonial things, but like patterns on clothes, or like, you know, like we in our modern day, we have like cool, I just think of like those wolf shirts where it's like 3 wolves on a shirt howling at a moon. But I mean, like, ancient people had that too, with like having features of the different animals that were in their area, whether it was like in text or with books or paintings or on clothing or tapestries, different things like that. So I could see these ones being pretty prevalent within the Fox Nation in general. For sure, like, I mean, as per their name, the Fox Nation, their goddess is associated with a fox, so that would be probably the most iconic, there we go. The most iconic animal within the nation, but I could also see them really featuring the different creatures that are around them and in their forests and stuff like that. Maybe, oh, you know what'd be really cute is like a stuffed crested bear, like basically like a teddy bear. I could see kids amongst the Fox Nation having these little cute teddy bears with their little crests. It'd be so adorable. Also, just a quick answer on, I guess, logistics of these bears. I could see the crests being prevalent with both male and female bears. I don't think this is a gender specific one, but maybe the size would range between male and female bears. So here we are. This is the crested bear from the Fox Nation. I think these are very cute and really cool creatures. I knew, like, when I had crested in the name, I wanted to feature some type of like bird crest in a way from these bears. And I love this one. I really wanted to do those yellow vibes, but honestly, it kind of reminds me of Johnny Bravo. So we'll keep that a secret between us when the comic comes out. These will be the Johnny Bravo bears. So for this episode, I actually wanted to do 2 creature features, so let's jump into the second one. So for this one, it's called a musk elk. This is probably one of the earliest creatures that I made for the series. It's Ina's mount of choice. She has basically her best animal friend name is Eden, and he is a red musk elk. Basically, this and the spotted hounds from the Hound Nation were 2 of the first animals that I created for this series, and I'm like, I knew that I wanted them to be the cool mount creatures that were present for our 2 main characters. But I haven't really drawn a lot of musk elks outside of like Ina's musk elk, and Bryant, who is Ina's guardian, he also has like a gray musk elk. And I think those are the only 2 that I really draw, but I'm like, I really want to expand into it a little bit more and add some more of them and more details to it. So I'm like, let's just make a whole creature sheet describing these creatures. So let's jump in and get some sketches going, and let me tell you more about the musk elks from Fox Among Hounds. All right, let's jump into drawing some musk elks. And like I said, this is some of the earliest creatures that were made for the series. I knew that I wanted this to be Ina's mount, and it's been just basically an OG creature ever since I first started developing the comic. But to get some questions out of the way, because one of the questions I get a lot when I talk about this creature is, why is it called a musk elk? So this one is a combination of 2 creatures from our world. So in our world, we have something that is called a musk deer, and I thought they were the coolest creatures. They're literally these cute little deers with these terrible, awesome fangs. If you do research on them, the fangs aren't like super prevalent for like, I guess, hunting, because these things are still herbivores, but they are good for defensive use. But they're still kind of not really helpful. They like do but don't help the musk elks, or the musk deer, I mean. So with this one, it is literally a musk deer meshed with an elk, because I wanted a more robust and larger creature to be used as mounts, because the musk deer is way too small and it probably could not handle a person's weight at all. So I thought we could get a sturdier, bigger, beefier creature and mesh it with the deer as well. So with that, I've had the idea of the musk elk since the beginning, and honestly, they're also kind of an ode to one of my biggest inspirations, which is Princess Mononoke. If you've seen, I guess, me on video or like doing Twitch streams in a tank top, you'll notice that the upper sleeve of my left arm is like a full, like, ode to Princess Mononoke. It's probably one of the most inspiring films ever to me, and I know I'm not alone in the world because there's quite a few series that do like a reddish orange deer-like creature as an ode to the movie. I recently watched The Deer King, and that one had like these orange deer-like creatures. So I know I'm not alone in like wanting to pay homage to Princess Mononoke and like how big of an inspiration it was to me. So I had to make one of these at least orange and I had to give it to our main character, Aina. But at least in this world, the orange ones are a little bit more rare, at least in terms of wild ones. I don't think they would last as long in the wild and the wilderness just because they don't blend in as well, and being like a more prey creature, I think it needs to blend in a little bit better with its surroundings. Not saying it's impossible to find them in the wild with that color, but I would see them as a little bit more rare. So at least in the domestication of the musk elks, the red ones are usually saved for either royalty or people with money, because the reds, it's just not as common. It's kind of like when you breed different dogs, sometimes you get a lot of like a black one and a tan one, and maybe the red one is a little bit more rare, you know? It's the same thing with the musk elks. All of them have like basically 4 primary colors. You either have a brown musk elk, a tan, a red, or a gray. So you'll see these different ones throughout the series and throughout the Fox Nation in general, both domesticated and wild. Part of the lore with them too, which I include in like the little stat sheet that I'm going to write up at the end, is musk elks have been around since like the dawn of the Fox Nation. There's so much ancient text and like illustrations of them, and a lot of the times it is basically associated with the dawning of the Fox Nation as well. It's like the culture grew up with them the full time. So even though like the fox is the primary icon, like I said, during the Crested Bear, musk elks are still very prevalent within the culture, both because they're like faithful companions and mounts, but they've just been around with them for so long. It's kind of like with us, with humans, like horses are so prevalent to humanity in general. Like they provided like new forms of transportation and sadly like new forms of warfare and different things that they provided to our culture. Like horses are very prevalent with us as well. So it's the same with the Fox Nation. The elks have just been around with them since the dawn of time almost. And they have a great reverence within the culture. Not to say that they aren't, you know, used for mounts. They are eaten. It's not like a full reverence like that, but it's more of like they are just associated as being so close to the people of this nation as well. So most people do have these as some type of mount or pet, or like some type of farm animal that can work for them. Within the fox culture, their milk is also used, same with their meat, their pelts. Everything is used from this creature within the nation. So that's even closer to why it's such a blood relative to the people of this world as well. I absolutely love these creatures. I have really adored fleshing them out throughout the series. Because like I said, early development, I knew I wanted the red one with Aina, but I didn't really have further plans for it outside of just like, oh, it's just like kind of this creature that will be associated with our main character. But as I was writing the story and crafting the nation, I'm like, no, these are like very prevalent and will be throughout the entire nation. And I really like having like the diverse color palettes for them. And I just love them. It's actually funny because like I do not like drawing like equestrian like creatures. I know like technically elks and deers don't fall under the same category as horses, but their joints just didn't work the same as like other mammals. If you've drawn like, I don't know, a big cat or a reptile compared to like a horse, you'd understand. It's just the transition of the ankle to like the toes that are the hooves can be kind of weird. Like their arm structure and like body structure has always been kind of a challenge for me. But ever since introducing these to the series and just being excited to draw like Aina on Eden and like just having them interact, it's just been so much easier and so much more fun to draw these creatures and like brush up on the horse adjacent anatomy. You know what I mean? So if you want to get better at something, you know, make a character or a creature of something that is a little bit uncomfortable, and you'll kind of get attached to it and slowly learn more and more about the anatomy and how to draw them. So I had a lot of fun doing this character sheet and then also showing off another color, because I mostly only draw the gray and the red for Bryant and Ina. So it was nice to kind of flesh out the Musk elks in general and give them a more diverse color palette to go into the series with. And there we have it. We are done with our 2 creatures from the Fox Nation. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I always love sharing and talking about my comic, and I'm very excited to share this story with you in the future. I'm hoping like maybe we can start releasing it sometime next year. I don't know. Like I said, comics take a really long time, and I want a little bit of a buffer so it's not like you get a chapter and then you have to wait a year. You know what I mean? If you want to follow along with the creation of the comic, I have a newsletter right here where you can get news as it comes out for the release of the pages. But also I stream over on Twitch. I make the pages regularly on Twitch. So if you want to see the process of making comics, get a little bit of a sneak peek of what's to come, go follow me over at twitch.tv/KMcCaigue. I'm streaming there every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for like 4 to 5 hours. So if you want to just come hang out, vibe, you know, just come have a good time with us. But either way, thank you guys again so much for stopping by and checking out this video. For sure, we're going to do more of these. So if you want to learn more about my comic and like the animals within it, make sure to subscribe and follow along on this journey of making my original series. Next time, I think we're going to feature the Hound Nation creatures. For sure, we're going to do the Spotted Hound. And then I'm thinking we might do either one of the wild creatures or another domesticated creature. I'm going to have to look through and see which one we want to feature, because the Hound Nation has also a lot of cool animals. I also want to give a shout out to my patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting me and my business. If you guys would like to get behind the scenes access and early access to all the artwork that I make on this channel, you can go support me on Patreon. We also have a mail club where you receive goodies in the mail every month, which is a sticker, a print, and a sticker sheet. Here's this month's theme. I'm really excited to send it to you guys. I'm so proud of this one, and I think it's going to be super cute, and I love it. But if you guys want to get any exclusive goodies and help support my business at the same time, go check out my Patreon. Also, liking, commenting, sharing, it all helps my business, so I super appreciate it. You can go follow me on all the other socials. I'm on like Twitch, Instagram. God, I'm everywhere. TikTok. Everywhere, basically all under K McCaigue, so you can find me on any of those platforms. But either way, thank you guys again so much for stopping by. I'm very excited to work more on Fox Among Hounds. This has been probably the best part of going full-time, is being able to work on my IPs more and more every day. So thanks again, everyone, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.